evening, class. Let me go ahead and share the playlist with y'all over in the chat window. And like always, I'll let you know when to hit play if y'all want to join. Let me share the link over on the members page. Okay. Hello. Y'all let me know when you're here. So we might hear barking dogs and screaming children. So I apologize for that. Okay, like one more minute and then we'll get started. I see two folks joining in. Y'all care to the Spotify playlist that I'll be using for class is linked in the chat. And I'll let you know when to hit play. Just a moment. Go ahead and move this chair out of the way. And make sure y'all can see and hear me. Scoot back just a little. I'll tilt the computer up. Okay. It is 5:30. We'll go ahead and get started with our class. So if you would like to listen to the playlist that I've shared along with the class, we'll all hit play together right now. There we go. Now, here, we'll make our way to our mats. Find a comfortable seat. Okay. So finding the spot on our mats where we feel comfortable. So you may lay down, or come to seated or child's pose, wherever you feel like sort of tune out the rest of the day. Start the body, noticing the breath. And slowly increasing lengths of our inhales, letting our exhales match. We're inhaling space into our spines, imagining whole length of the spine, expanding, growing taller. Exhales ground and relax us. So whatever posture we're in right now. Our exhales will remind ourselves of where we're connected to the mat. So with our inhales and exhales, we might try a 3-part breath, just inhaling into the low belly and then into our ribs, and then finally into the chest and the throat. Exhaling the same way we brought air in, belly button pulls back into the spine, pressing the air out. Ribs come in, just a gentle movement, not a big movement. And then finally pushing out the last bit of air in our chest, in our throat. So inhaling into the belly, into the ribs, into the chest. Exhale, belly in. Exhale the air in the chest. Continuing, practicing using our lungs to their full capacity. So if we're not in seated, we'll come to seated now. And warming ourselves up with some gentle neck stretch. We'll drop right ear to right shoulder. Inhale as head rolls to the front, and exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Going back and forth at our own pace. So I'll keep going. Check our mic situation here. I don't think it's using the mic that I wanted it to. So if y'all are where you can say something, if y'all lose me at some point, y'all just let me know. So just rolling the head side to side. If we need any sticky spots, we feel like we want to hold for a breath or several breaths, we can stay there. Just connecting with the breath, movement flows. If this is still feeling really good, we can stay here An option is to change this to an up and down motion. So it's tucking chin to chest on the exhale. Inhale, looking up, stretching the front of the neck. So flowing with our breath, going at a pace that's comfortable for us. So once again, if this is still feeling good, we can stay here. Another option is to go side to side. So looking over one shoulder, inhaling to the front, and exhaling as we look over the other shoulder. We'll go one more time to each side. Looking towards the front, we're inhaling as we sweep arms up towards the ceiling. We're exhaling them in front of us, rocking to all fours and sitting back into child's pose. And bring the big toes to touch, sinking hips over heels, chest and forehead relaxing down to the mat. We're relaxing our shoulders down our backs, maybe grounding through the finger pads with that depression in our shoulders. So drawing the shoulder blades down, we might pull through the finger pads, pressing into the mat. Feeling some lengthening of the neck, some stretching in our shoulders. Our next inhale, we're rocking up to all fours. Bringing knees in line with the hips. Wrists will be underneath the shoulders. And we're going to shift our hips just a little bit further forward so that we find ourselves in kneeling plank. So pressing through the palms, shoulders are coming down. So bringing the shoulders forward. We're exhaling as we lower into chaturanga, for keeping the elbows close into the body. We're inhaling into cobra. So elbows stay bent, lengthening through the crown of the head, through the back. Exhale, we'll release chest back to the mat. Inhaling, pressing up through plank. Exhaling, sitting it back in child's pose. So we'll do that same sequence again. Inhaling, kneeling plank. Exhale, we'll lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, chest back to the mat. Inhale, pressing up. Exhale, back to child's pose. So flowing through this sequence, going at our own pace. Let's do one more together. So the next time you find yourself in child's pose, that's where we'll meet. So this time, as we set back into our child's pose, let's create a sort of mental check-in. a spot that when we return to can be our gauge for how we're feeling the rest of class. Acknowledging that our yoga practice is our own. That if something doesn't feel good in our bodies tonight, or if we feel like we want to maybe not do something that I'm offering, that is your yoga practice. You can find a resting pose, a child's pose, down dog. And that is honoring where you are tonight. So yoga is not a competition, not with others, not with ourselves. So letting go of judgment and staying in the present moment, connecting the breath, linking the mind to how the body is feeling. And with our next inhale, we're rocking up to all fours and finding down dog from here. So tucking our toes, pressing the hands into the mat, knees come off the mat, hips reach high as chest presses back towards our thighs, and knees straighten. Fingers are spread nice and wide, wrist creases parallel to the top of the mat. We're gazing at a spot on our mat between the feet. Maybe giving the head a little shake, a little pedal of the heels. Maybe sway. Inhaling, we'll lift the gaze. Exhaling, feet will follow the gaze into forward fold. Relaxing through the spine. So releasing the neck, letting the crown of the head point straight down. Releasing tension in the back, the low back, hamstrings. We might sway side to side here. Releasing hands, we're inhaling, lifting just halfway, finding a flat back. So reaching through the crown of the head, through the tailbone. Maybe placing a tiny bend in the knees or a deeper bend if our hamstrings are tight. Shoulders back and down. Exhaling, we'll release back into forward fold. Inhaling, we're coming all the way to standing, hinging at our hips and sweeping the arms out to the side. Exhaling, bringing palms to heart. Inhale, big sweep of the arms up. Exhaling, diving with flat back to our forward fold. Inhaling, lifting halfway. Exhaling, palms to the mat, bending our knees as much as we need to get them there. Then inhale, we'll step back into a plank position. Knees or toes as we lower in chaturanga. So we can go back to what we did at the beginning. If we feel like challenging ourselves, we can come up onto the knees, but we always remember to strengthen and don't strain. So we find ourselves on our descent coming down and letting those hips kind of hit first. That can injure our low back over time. So it's much safer to come to the knees. If we're up on the toes, the whole body lowers in a long straight line, bending the elbows, keeping them close in. Down dog. Inhaling, lifting the gaze. Exhaling, we'll walk to forward fold. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling all the way to stand, hinging at the hips, of course, strong all the way up. Exhaling, palms to heart. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, we'll dive. Inhaling, lifting halfway. Flat back. Exhaling, palms to the mat. Inhaling back to plank. Knees or toes as we lower in chaturanga, long straight line. Inhale, cobra, or maybe we take an up of the feet, straightening through the arms. If we're in up dog, to get to down dog, we exhale, flipping on the toes and pressing back. If we were in cobra, we lower like we did before, and then press up through all fours and back to down dog. From down dog, we're inhaling right leg out behind us. Exhaling as we sweep this foot to the top of the mat. Knees stacking over ankle, climbing onto fingertips, extending the gaze forward, extending through the crown of the head, inhaling, rising to high lunge. Exhale, we'll sweep it back down, arms on either side of the foot. Inhaling, stepping right foot back to plank. Exhaling as we lower in chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or an up dog. Exhaling to down dog. Inhaling, left leg out behind us. Exhaling, we'll sweep it to the top of the mat. Climbing onto fingertips. Extending crown of the head forward, lifting the gaze. Big inhale, sweeping the arms up into lunge. Exhaling, they'll float right back down. Inhaling, stepping left foot back plank. Exhale, lowering in chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Holding down dog. Might pedal the heels again. We also might find ourselves in a child's pose. Taking a few deep breaths to sort of reset. When we feel ready to continue in our practice, from down dog, we're extending right leg out behind us. We'll bend the knee, let the hip open. Knee up towards the ceiling. We're trying to keep our shoulders level. We'll inhale to straighten the leg. Exhaling, we're sweeping the foot back to the top of the mat. We're going to let that foot come down so the edge of the foot is parallel to the back of the mat. We're inhaling, sweeping our left arm towards the front, up and over as we windmill up into warrior two. So right knee is tracking towards the baby toe. Shoulders are stacked over our hips, lengthening the tailbone down, drawing the belly button up and in. Soft shoulders, strong gaze over the right middle finger. We're straightening our front knee, flipping right palm open and tilting back into reverse triangle. Let our gaze follow the lifted hand, back hand resting gently on our back leg, just avoiding pressing into the knee. We're exhaling, letting right arm come down to right ankle or to our shin, finding triangle. If you have a block at home, you could also bring a block to the inside of the right foot. What we're trying to do is to stack our shoulders on top of one another so that our chest stays forward. We find ourselves like this, that means we need to come up higher. Inhaling, we'll windmill hands up. So bring the shoulders back over the hips, lunging back into our warrior two. Flipping right palm open, we're inhaling, tilting back into reverse warrior. So the difference is we keep this knee bent as we reach up this time. And let's switch our gaze to our backhand. The backhand still resting lightly on back leg. And then exhaling all the way down, hands come down on the outside of the foot Then the inside of the foot will pivot on our back toes. We're inhaling, stepping right foot back to plank. Option to go straight to down dog from here or to move through our vinyasa of chaturanga, up dog or cobra, and then back to down dog. Once again, taking a moment to reset. When we feel ready to continue, we're inhaling left leg out behind us. Exhaling, letting the knee bend, the hip open. So this is a twist mostly at our waist. We want to keep that left armpit facing back. We're inhaling to straighten the leg. Exhaling, sweeping the foot to the top of the mat. Knee stacking over our ankle. Back foot's coming down. So edge of the back foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Right arm reaches towards the front as we inhale. Up to warrior two. Again, shoulders over hips, belly button drawing up and in, tailbone lengthening down, left knee tracking over the baby toe. Strong gaze over left middle finger. Straightening front leg, flipping left palm open, tilting back into reverse triangle. Light touch of back hand on back leg. Next exhale, we're letting left hand come down to left leg for triangle. Shoulders stacking. Might have a block. And again, we can be propped up as high as our hip. If that means chest is opening. Inhaling, using the strength of our core to lift the shoulders so that they stack back over hips. Lunging back into left leg. Inhaling, tilting back into reverse warrior. This time we'll drop the gaze. Looking down at our right hand. Exhaling, we windmill hands down on either side of our front foot. Pivoting on back toes, stepping left foot back to plank. Option, vinyasa or straight to down dog. Holding down dog. Taking a moment to reset. And when we feel ready, we're inhaling right leg out behind us. Exhaling, bending the knee, letting the hip open. We're inhaling to straighten the leg. Exhales, we'll sweep the foot to the top of the mat. So we're just continuing. Inhaling, left arm leads. Good. We're straightening front leg. Tilting back into reverse triangle. Exhaling, right hand comes down to triangle. Inhaling, upper body comes back into that warrior two position as we sink into left knee. Inhaling, tilting back into reverse warrior. Exhaling, windmilling hands down on either side of front foot, straight to down dog. From down dog, inhaling left leg out behind us. Exhale to bend the knee, letting the hip open. Inhale to straighten. Exhaling it to the top of the mat. Knee stacking over our ankle, back foot pivots down, edge of the foot parallel to the back of the mat. Inhaling, right arm leads. Up into warrior two, then we'll go straight back into reverse triangle. Exhaling to triangle. Inhaling to warrior two. And back to reverse warrior. Exhaling all the way down. Pivoting on back toe, stepping left foot back. Vinyasa or straight to down dog. We'll go one more time to each side. Inhaling, right leg out behind us. Exhale, knee bends, hip opens. Inhaling to straighten. Exhaling, we'll sweep it to the top of the mat. Back foot spirals down. Inhale, left arm leads. We move through warrior two and then straight back to reverse triangle. Exhaling to triangle. Right hand comes down. Inhaling up through that warrior two, lunging back into the knee. Tilting back into reverse warrior. Exhaling all the way down. Pivoting on back toes. Inhaling right foot back. Vinyasa or straight to down dog. Inhaling, left leg out behind us. Bending the knee, letting hip open if we want. Inhale to straighten. Exhale, we'll sweep it to the top of the mat. Back foot pivots down. Inhaling, reaching with our right arm, coming up through warrior two. Back to reverse triangle. Exhaling all the way to triangle. So left hand to left leg. Inhaling. Torso comes up, sinking back into that lunge. Reverse warrior, left hand lifts. Exhaling, windmill your hands down on either side. Stepping our left foot back to plank, vinyasa, or straight to down dog. We're lowering knees to the mat. Big toes to touch, hips over heels. Finding a child's pose. As we lengthen this child's pose, we're thinking about inhaling into the low back, inhaling into our sides. Check in with our bodies, how we're feeling now. One more deep breath here in child's pose. So inhaling, filling the low back with air. Exhaling everything out, maybe through the mouth this time. We're inhaling, rocking up to all fours. Tucking our toes, lifting the knees, pressing back to down dog. Inhaling, lifting the gaze. We're walking half the distance of our mats. And then coming to standing with a cat back. So rounding one vertebrae after the other, taking your time. We'll take a couple of shoulder rolls at the top. And then to the front. Maybe ear to shoulder, ear to shoulder. We'll practice a little bit of standing balancing. So we're going to bring our weight to our right leg, and we're picking left leg up, flexing the foot, bending the knee, bringing hands to prayer. Shoulders relax back and down, chin parallel to the floor, lengthening through the crown of the head. We'll exhale, setting left foot down, finding our balance on this side, And lifting your right foot. Belly button up and in, lengthening through the crown of the head, grounding through that standing foot. With our next exhale, lowering right leg, bringing left foot up. Option to stay here or to send this leg out to the side as arms reach. Exhaling, we're setting left foot down, hands back to prayer, inhaling that left foot, right foot, and then staying here if we want, our option to extend the leg and reach the arms. And exhaling, right foot down. Give her a little shake out of the legs. We're bringing our hands out in front of us, coming up onto the toes. And we're going to lower in a squat until we reach seated on our mats. So when we feel like our balance is about to give, that we can't control the descent any longer, and we can just take our hands down and sit back. Once we find seated, we're going to extend. And now I'm being blinded by the side. I'm going to turn this way. Okay, we're going to extend the legs out in front of us, bending the knees, and finding boat pose. So if we like, we can come to an easy expression of boat for our body, and that may look different than what I'm doing. Our easy boat could mean toes staying on the mat. An easy boat for somebody who has a lot of core strength could look like the full expression of boat pose. So we feel comfortable balancing here, drawing belly button up and in, and lengthening through the crown of the head. Shoulders are soft. So we're taking our hands to the floor beside us, slightly behind us, so behind where our hips would be, where our shoulders would be. We're going to take our boat pose and add some movement. So we're inhaling, sending our toes out to the right as we draw a circle, and exhale, bringing them back to the starting position. Inhale, sending out. Exhale, drawing in. We're going one more time. Inhale out. Exhale, draw it in. Let's pause. And then we're going to reverse it. We're going to inhale, send it out to the left, and exhale to draw in. So inhaling, sending legs out. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale out. Exhale in. Last time, inhale to the left. Exhale, draw it in. Holding. We can keep our hands on the ground. We can come back to boat with the hands where we had them before. Noticing the low back. Low back should be operating pain-free. Belly button drawing up and in. We'll take our hands to the floor, maybe back where we had it for our circling. And if our knees are bent, we're going to inhale to straighten them to whatever degree that we feel comfortable, and then exhale and bend them back down. If our legs were already straight, we can exhale, lower the legs a little bit, and then inhale to lift them. So here we go. We'll inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Take over at our own pace. The quality of the movement is way more important than the quantity. and the number of times we feel like we can bend and extend our legs. We take breaks as we need it. Let's do one more. Inhale, exhale, bend. And let's take it all the way to forward fold. Feel free to round through the back here. Hands reaching down the legs, stopping wherever they want to stop. That could be up at the thighs, it could be shins, could be ankles, it could be toes. And inhaling back up to seated. We're swinging our legs back behind us, finding all four. We're going to find some bow pose. I'm going to lead us through half bow once and then full bow twice. So if you're more comfortable in half bow, I instruct us through full bow and do that on each side. Also, if bow is really easy for you, it's in your practice a lot, and you want to just go straight to full bow and do full bow 4 times with us, that's also an option. All right, if we're coming to half bow, we're bending a right heel, or flexing our right heel in towards the glute. We're up on the forearms. We'll reach back with right hand on the outside of the foot. We're inhaling, lifting the knee off the mat so that our ankle is drawing our chest back and we're pulling the foot in. So creating the same flow right before it's releasing an arrow. And imagine that our foot is the arrow and our shoulder is what's drawing the string back. All right, we're exhaling, releasing this side, bringing right elbow underneath right shoulder, flexing left foot, bringing the heel in towards the glute, reaching back with left hand. Inhale, lifting the knee, lifting the thigh. One more breath here, inhaling. Exhaling, let it down. Okay, so option to do that same thing again, or if you would like to try full bow, we'll go full bow, hold it for about 5 breaths, and repeat that for another time, so for a total of 2 times. We're going full bow, we're flexing the feet, bringing heels in towards the glutes. We're reaching back for the outside of the ankles. We're squeezing the knees together. So we'll create that tension, feet pulling the arms back, and we're inhaling, lifting the chest, lifting the thighs, knees squeezing towards one another, gazing forward, holding for about 5 breaths. Exhale, release. Take one cheek down to the mat. Take a couple of breaths. Maybe exhaling through the mouth. All right, one more time. So bending knees, feet back in towards the glutes, reaching back for the outside of the ankles, creating that tension, and then inhale, lift. Knees hugging together. Exhaling, release. Let's take a couple of deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Last one, in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're inhaling to press up to kneeling, or to all fours. We're stepping our right foot forward to find a kneeling lunge. So we're letting our weight come forward. Knee is not extending out past our toes, so it's somewhere between stacked over our ankles and like the middle part of our foot. So we're moving the end portion of our class where we're going to hold these stretches a little bit longer. There's lots of things that we could do here in this kneeling lunge to get what we want out of it. So if we feel like we're getting all the stretch that we need, we'll stay here. Have the option to let our body weight and gravity add some opening by propping up on the knee and sinking into the stretch this way. If we would like even more, the option to bend that back knee, flexing the foot just like we were coming into bow pose. This brings some of the stretch in our hip flexor into the quadriceps. We can intensify it by reaching back for the outside of the ankle and drawing the foot towards the body. So we don't force our bodies into anything in yoga. If this is hurting our knee in any way, especially to bend that back one as our weight is resting on it, then I'll encourage you to let that foot stay down. If you're on a hard floor instead of carpet like I've got underneath my mat, you might try doubling up your mat in the back, like folding it up on itself, or even folding the mat in and resting your knee there. I would like to bring this kneeling lunge into a lizard stretch. I'm bringing the right hand, the inside of the right foot, shoulder in towards the knee. And we can stay up on the hands or even come onto the forearms. You want to let the knee open up to the side, rolling onto the edge of the right foot. Let knee fall. We're going to take one more breath where we are, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Inhaling, pressing up into the hands. We're bringing our right knee back underneath the right hip. Let's take a little moment here to kind of rock side to side. Notice any differences that could be in right leg versus left leg, either in the hips, hamstrings, quadriceps. When we're ready, we're stepping left foot forward. Finding lunge here. So adjusting our mat however we need to if we want some extra cushion. Let's take our time. Holding and breathing. So remembering our options here to deepen. If you're feeling very good where you are, do not feel like you have to move into anything deeper, because our bodies all want different things and they want different things from each side. Remembering we can prop up onto the knee. We can bend back foot in, grabbing hold of the outside of the ankle. Feeling free to stay here if we're comfortable. Option to lower into lizard pose. So staying up on the hands or coming to the forearms. We can roll onto the edge of our left foot. We can let that knee open if we want, if it is feeling okay in our bodies. Take one more deep breath. In through the nose. Out through the nose. Inhaling to press back into the hands. We're not there. Exhaling, sending that left knee back underneath left hip. Take a moment, go side to side. Reset. And then we'll flip on to our hips. Let's see. Says that my connection is unstable, but now it doesn't. So if y'all lost me there for a second, I apologize. We're moving to our Shavasana now. So lying on our backs or any other shape that feels good. Some people might prefer Shavasana or lying on the belly. Will give us a variation in Supta Baddha Konasana, reclining bound angle pose. So soles of the feet together, making that butterfly shape with the legs, knees falling open. If we don't feel super supported here or relaxed, we can also bring a cushion or open the palms face up, letting them rest about a foot away from our body. We're going to concentrate on our exhales. Noticing the release, sinking feeling, relaxation. It naturally follows long exhales. We're surrendering to that feeling. Eyes closed now. Put something on the ceiling. Noticing our shoulders, low back, melting into the mat. Hips soften. Relax the jaw, and clenching the teeth and drawing the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Softening the temples. Relaxing our eyebrows. Creating soft, relaxed expressions on our faces. If any thoughts try to creep in on this time of relaxation, just acknowledge those thoughts and then let them go with the next exhale. Waking ourselves up, the knees together. And letting these little movements turn into a big stretch. Inhaling, arms overhead, pointing the toes. Exhaling, knees come to the chest, wrapping arms around the shins or bringing hands to the backs of the thighs. We'll rock side to side, giving the low back a little massage. Maybe moving the knees in a big circle. And when our low back feels good, we'll let our knees fall to whichever side they want to fall. Rolling into a fetal position. Taking as many deep breaths here. We're pushing up to seated when we're ready. So we're going to take one final breath together. Big inhale, sweeping the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, palms to our heart. Thank you all for practicing with me this evening. Namaste. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know if you would like to see anything specific either on Thursday, if you tune in on Thursday, or next week if Tuesdays are your nights. And I'm very grateful for y'all. I hope everybody is staying well, and I hope that I can see y'all in person very soon. Y'all have a good night. Bye.